the 1938 encounter. The Congo Basin has an incredible ecosystem. This area is around 500 million acres, which makes it larger than the state of Alaska. Those who have heard about the giant Congo spider or see it have suggested it could be a new species of arachnid. Most of the local tales describe the spiders digging shallow holes close to tree roots and then camouflaging it with nearby leaves. Interestingly enough, one of the first accounts of people seeing this giant spider appears to be in a book by George Eberhardt. He described that an English couple travelling through the Congo had an encounter with an abnormally large spider. He said that during their visit to the Congo in 1938, the couple saw what they thought was a monkey crossing in front of them. After going in for a closer look, however, they soon noticed they were laying eyes on a spider that had legs spanning 3 feet in length. The couple had no idea that spiders of such sizes could be found in this region. However, they soon discovered that their account would be swept under the carpet and that they would never get an answer for what they saw on that day. Chicago's flying humanoid. Now, you might be wondering what a humanoid actually is. A humanoid is a science fiction term given to things that appear human-like, such as lifelike robots and some paranormal phenomena. In 2017, in Chicago, Illinois, multiple sightings of these types of beings were reported by members of the public. However, these humanoids were a little different to the robot-like figures people tend to think of humanoids as. These were flying humanoids, and in order to fly, they needed something that would make them fly, and this came in the form of bat wings. Chicago residents reported sightings of huge human bats leaping from buildings and performing dramatic aerial maneuvers, drawing gasps from crowds below. They were initially described by eyewitnesses as tall, feathered, with wings and glowing red eyes. One journalist even described the creature as beautiful as they seemed to move in synchrony, dancing between buildings and flying with grace. But their appearance wasn't pleasant and actually quite chilling. Many of the humanoids were spotted around the east side of Chicago, near Lake Michigan, which itself is known for unexplained activity such as UFO sightings. At the time, humanoid researchers believed that it was likely that it was 3 different humanoids that people were seeing. Each of these humanoids was between 6 to 8 feet tall, with a jet black, smooth wingspan of around 12 feet. Some even think that a few of these creatures may have been other paranormal beings, namely lechuzas from Mexico. These are believed to be ancient Mexican witches that transform into owls or eagles, but would still be far too small to resemble the figures seen in Chicago. Humanoids have allegedly been spotted across the world for hundreds of years, but paranormal enthusiasts can't quite agree on what they actually are or do. One theory is that they are a type of time traveler, but this doesn't quite add up for the Chicago files. After all, why would they want to present themselves in such a bizarre figure? Robot-like, human-looking humanoids may fit the time travel theory a little better, but nobody is totally sure what the Chicago appearances could be attributed to. Other theories include the invasion of Earth by extraterrestrial beings, but for some reason this too seems a little far-fetched. Although witnessing humanoids is stigmatized as a bad omen or bad news, most people haven't experienced any adverse effects after seeing these creatures. A few nightmares or sleepless nights have been reported, but nothing particularly fascinating. No one really knows what humanoids are, especially these bat-like humanoids, but in all honesty, they do sound more like something out of a horror film than anything else. Some questions are meant to be left unanswered. USS Cyclops. USS Cyclops was the biggest ship in the US Navy when it mysteriously disappeared without a trace. This massive ship was about 550 feet in length, and it had a crew of 306 people. The ship started sailing in 1910, and initially it was used for commercial activities. Later, it was used for transporting troops and cargo during the First World War. In March 1918, USS Cyclops was returning from Brazil when the unexpected happened. The ship mysteriously disappeared without any clue of where it went. The last message received from the USS Cyclops simply said, "Weather fair, all well." This means that the weather is good and everything is going well. Usually, after a ship sinks into the ocean due to an accident or for any other reason, some debris from the ship usually keeps floating on the surface of water for days, and rescuers are able to identify the location of the ship's disappearance. Or sometimes people are even able to stay afloat using lifeboats and life jackets. However, in the USS Cyclops' mysterious disappearance, there were no floating pieces or men found floating on the surface of the water. More than 100 years have passed and still not a single piece of evidence has been found that could explain the mysterious disappearance of the USS Cyclops in the Bermuda Triangle. In an official statement, the US Navy admitted that the disappearance of the USS Cyclops is amongst the most baffling mysteries in the Navy's history, and all attempts made to locate the ship proved to be unsuccessful. The Sockburn Worm. The tale of the Sockburn worm took place in the village of Sockburn in Durham. Sockburn is a peninsula, boasting a tumble-down Saxon church full of carvings by stonemasons that mix Scandinavian mythology with Christian symbolism. However, what it's best known for is the terrifying creature that was said to once terrorize the local population. This creature has been described as a strange and monstrous serpent with poisonous breath that was brought to the area by an Italian traveller. It was said to be responsible for devouring over 1,000 people and leaving Sockburn in chaos. The people of Sockburn were finally saved by John Conyers, who managed to slay the creature with his falchion. The dead creature fell into the River Tees, and any remainder of it was buried under the Great Grey Stone, which is still visible to this day. The people of Sockburn felt so indebted to Conyers that they dedicated the Sockburn estate to his family. Their reign of the estate lasted until 1635, when William Conyers died without a male heir. The events of that day are still evident in Sockburn's traditions. Conyers' falchion is still kept in Durham Cathedral, and even now, each newly consecrated bishop is presented with the falchion over the River Tees. When handing over the falchion, a speech is read out that retells the story of the champion Conyers who slew the worm, dragon or fiery flying serpent which destroyed man, woman and child. Perhaps the most famous tribute to Conyers' brave act is how the story reportedly was the inspiration for Lewis Carroll's poem Jabberwocky. Dingo Neck. Throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries, tales emerged of the Dingo Neck, a strange creature mostly seen within the African Congolese jungles, found in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Investigating these jungles has led us to the discoveries of new species, such as the okapi, a distant relative to the giraffe, or the bongo, an African forest antelope. But could there also be some more unusual, less easily explained animals hiding amongst the trees? The dingo neck, often referred to as a jungle walrus, has had very mixed descriptions of its physical appearance throughout the years, after revealing itself for only a few minor glimpses. From first-hand accounts to people's personal opinion based upon drawings, this strange creature has been reported as being a peculiar mix of many animals: a jungle walrus, a scorpion mixed with a big cat, a pangolin combined with a saber-toothed tiger, a beast fish. The first report of the dingo neck occurred in 1907, spotted near Lake Victoria by big game hunter Alfred Jordan, alongside his accompanying hunting party. Perhaps our most detailed account of the dingo neck, however, has come from another big game hunter, Edgar Beecher Bronson, who has recounted his experience with the beast in his 1910 memoir, Enclosed Territory. Bronson described this cryptid as reaching 14 or 15 feet in length, having a head with markings resembling that of a leopard but the size of a lioness, having 2 white fangs, scales similar to an armadillo, a fin as a tail, and the width of a hippopotamus. This peculiar description of such a physically repellent creature is confusing, to say the least. In 1913, an article was published in the East Africa Natural History Society written by Charles William Hobley, which added similar descriptions to Bronson's. In 1918, an article published in a magazine confirmed the beast as being a recent discovery of a new species. According to sightings and legends, the dingo neck is a carnivore and shows no mercy to any animals it may come across. The meter-long tusks allow for almost any animal to become an easy victim to the dingo neck. Only elephants appear to be exempt, presumably due to their great size and strength. Equipped with its strange mixture of animal features, the dingo neck is reportedly incredibly territorial, meaning a passerby can easily fall prey to the beast fish. This unusual creature is inarguably elusive, though with such mixed accounts and interpretations surrounding the physical aspects of this animal, how can we be sure we will ever find it? The search continues to determine the true nature of this supposedly hideous beast.